All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the GamerDad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's talk resistance for a little bit. This is the mode that Ubisoft Massive added to the Division 1 at the end of life of the game. Now, this has not necessarily been executed in this method with the Division 2. With the Division 2, yes, we've had a lot of content drops, but for the most part, these are places that, you kind of have to travel to. If you think about maybe Descent, you think about, say, all the others. Ooh, I'm getting peppered. Think about Descent and think about all the others. You'll realize that, okay, at the end of the day, a lot of those other maps and the way that they were actually set up, really did have, in my opinion, an aspect to it that you kind of have to fast travel away from the map. Even in New York, the way they had Warlords of New York and such, they make you fast travel to that aspect of the map. I mean, obviously, you're going from DC to New York, so it should, it should actually resonate this way, right? But in the case of Resistance, it was very peculiar. The developers actually went ahead and extended the map. They literally took the map and the way it was and expanded upon it and created a lot of these different activities and events and gameplay encounters within the area. It was literally very cool. Now, in terms of them executing it, I wouldn't call it something that was, some huge big feat in terms of the way they, got it done. But the fact that they got it done was what I think was the main, the main aspect of it, because there were so many hidden, I would say activities here. There were things that you could do that really did showcase just the entirety of how they could expand upon a lot of the lore and, all kinds of really cool stuff. So this is what really made Resistance, well, I call it Resistance, but really it was just basically an addition to the whole map, but we called it Resistance anyways. I thought this was actually pretty cool because there were just so many cool things that were actually going on here. At the end of the day, you could see objective markers, you could see enemy NPCs basically having these little factions or little points, and they were very aggressive. They detected you so fast. And the cool thing you will see is a lot of the enemy NPC factions were all working together in this particular context. And I think that was another thing that really made it really interesting. You would see Rikers and you would see Cleaners. Oh, look, it's an enemy NPC. Yeah, let's get him here. Let's get him. Let's get him to bleed a little. All right, let's get this sniper NPC. You see that this sniper NPC is a Riker NPC, and this is a Cleaner boss. It's a Cleaner heavy. It just working hand in hand to melt you. They were all buddies in this particular, the lore for this area is they all kind of would like, oh, we're sick of the division, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make everybody in the division suffer by coming together. Oh, I better melt this guy before he comes in and burns me. Ooh. All right, he's toast. And so that's why you're gonna see all this stuff. And there were NPCs everywhere, man. I mean, like literally, I can't get 5 minutes to just like take a breather, and they keep peppering you. Let me get this guy here. See, that's an LMB guy, and that's a Riker's NPC. It's quite interesting. Westside Pier. Ah, there we go. Okay. And you can come in here. You could farm loot. It was actually pretty cool. I like the way they do the rooftops here in the Division, man. It's just so cool. Yeah. So anyways, this was actually something that I thought, was very interesting in the way that they did it. You had all kinds of really interesting stuff here. And the devs just, they came with thunder. I mean, this was all post-game stuff added for free. They must have been trying to market the Division 2, man, because, I'll say they did this out of the goodwill of their hearts, but man, they really wanted to end the game with a big bang. So you see this quality get, added to the game as time went on, and you can't help but think, I wonder what they're going to do with the Division 2. I wonder how they're going to exit the game, in quote, when it's time for the Division 3 to come out. Potentially, they may not need to do too much. Having seen how they've added things like incursions and more missions, and there's promised support to go with everything. So, may not necessarily be too much of a big deal at the end of the day. Anyways, let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I think this is a very interesting kind of a throwback to basically go and see, okay, what was done back in the day, how the developers were able to manage, continuous support, how they were able to bring things to a whole different perspective in terms of the game, and, continuing to just push players to stay engaged using different means. And I think, this is kind of cheap in a sense because, this game, it runs the open world on your own, on your hardware device. But, just adding these little mission markers based on mechanics that had already been built to me was just quite interesting overall. I'll get out of your hair. Thank you very much for tuning into the video, and thank you so much for your time and audience. Let me hear your thoughts about reminiscing about the Division 1 in the comment section below, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.